Good morning, everybody. Firstly, thank you for joining me today. My name is Matthew Clemmersrud. I've worked at Ultima for nearly 6 years, and I'm a solutions architect in our modern workspace practice. A quick statement about what Autonomous Workspace is. It's Ultima's modern take on delivering a secure digital workspace and is focused on the management of endpoints and employee digital experience, amongst other things. It's founded upon the M365 suite of products and services, and we at Ultima have a gold partnership status in all Microsoft 365 related competencies, including cloud productivity and enterprise mobility management. Moving straight on, describing what our mission is with Autonomous Workspace. It's effectively bringing together a set of Ultima's managed services and consulting services and associated capabilities. As that suggests, we've delivered these services and capabilities many times before for large and small customers across different industries. A couple of stats around our practice. We've in excess of 250,000 hours of workspace implementation experience over the past 2 years. We've delivered over 8,000 days of consultancy from our modern workspace practice over the past 12 months. So Autonomous Workspace is there to solve some common challenges of today. Those challenges are much broader than these 4 pillars that you see, but they do include the user onboarding and the provisioning of devices, which has long been a challenge for organizations. And as well as taking valuable time from operational teams, it's restrictive in the classic means which we do that with using traditional techniques. We definitely find ourselves in a situation where in recent times we've had reduced productivity, and we've had to show flexible working is a crucial part of a business's agility. In the applications of in the area of applications and service required for employees to be productive, existing methods of presenting those applications and services are often restrictive, and they're restrictive very often to on-premise availability. So we try and make that a challenge that's overcome by making those things available with improved security. And then the continual onslaught of operational tasks around updates. The operational challenge of maintaining compliance to appropriate security standards it's a never-ending operational challenge that consumes valuable time of organizations' operational staff. This slide I find reasonably interesting. I think the source of this information was from April 2020, and the statistics here are from an Office for National Statistics study released then, so early pandemic, if you will. So in the case of the figures relating to 69% of businesses or industries with industries with 69% remote working, we actually think that that's probably significantly higher as organizations have come to terms with remote working, and we expect it to remain so for quite some time. So using the M365 suite of products and services, we try to solve those challenges and more than those challenges. And in this image, we're depicting some of the components of an employee's workspace. Again, some of these elements come with challenges. So for example, security and securing this agile and constantly mobile environment often inhibits collaboration and productivity, with security boundaries often tied to physical locations. There are challenges in managing hardware lifecycle in this environment, and always have been, in fact. And it comes with commercial challenges on top of those logistical challenges of CapEx models that may or may not fit a business's operations. And on top of that, a distributed hardware support requirement, which is challenging when it comes to fleet managing of endpoints. Customer satisfaction is often an area that's missed in our application of services to end users, employees. It's often not measured, and if it is measured, it's normally measured just through incidents, which sort of exposes the business or IT to negative feedback, because really what we're doing is measuring our performance based on the number of incidents. But there are many silent sufferers, and there are many experiences that are poor that are never reported and just accepted. And of course, in this environment where you've got multiple components, you've got a very complex EUC technology stack comprising of a broad range of vendors which bring cost and complexity, and that can impact not only the employee experience and security, but obviously it impacts the operational efforts within the IT organization. So what we try to do is we try to manage that whole life cycle. And with Autonomous Workspace, we try to solve these challenges using well-known and mature technologies. So we try to remove the boundaries for provisioning of devices, enabling provisioning and re-provisioning of devices to happen anywhere. We employ modern application management techniques to enable the deployment of applications to endpoints anywhere again. And we leverage security that's dynamic and risk-based, so that we can control the admittance of employees and devices to services on their based on their combined security posture. And we provide tooling that measures empirically and precisely the experience that employees have whilst consuming applications and services, enabling proactive remediation and service improvement through the digital employee experience. Often a forgotten element of business, and referred to top left there on the wheel, is technology change, and we provide adoption and change management capabilities with training materials provided to employees which are relevant to the users, that employee, based upon their digital activities. And we do that through the applications of machine learning so that we can target those employees with the relevant materials. The device lifecycle, of course, starts at procurement, and with the device lifecycle there, I'm sure you're aware Ultima are able to provide fulfillment and break-fix support, and we can do that in conjunction with the Autonomous Workspace platform to leverage the device's security capabilities. That enables us to enhance experiences such as leveraging passwordless authentication. And of course, the hardware life cycle, which we take from the beginning to its end in safe disposal, is one aspect of it. But then we have the operating system life cycle on top of that. We use the automated provisioning that we've discussed already to provide a consumer-like experience. So we enable frictionless self-service provisioning of devices through a process for employees to follow. And of course, there are challenges as well with delivering that evergreen, as it says there, or Windows as a service type environment, with delivering those updates, whether they be feature or security and reliability updates to Windows 10 devices. And all organizations are trying to embrace and achieve that evergreen and Windows as a service sort of goal. But it's challenging, and we do this in a way that's compliant with standards such as Cyber Essentials, and we do it in a templated fashion, which we know to work. Using the Microsoft security ecosystem, we also cover the middle section of that slide. So security is important in this environment where devices are often outside of the controls of their corporate premises. We're able to leverage policy-based compliance and context-aware security and internet-based threat protection to ensure the security of those employees and those endpoints wherever they are. The application lifecycle is then layered on top of that operating system in the Autonomous Workspace platform. We're leveraging Autopilot, as you might know, for provisioning of devices and reprovisioning of devices, but we also deliver the applications to those endpoints, and again, without being constrained by those physical corporate boundaries. We allow that in a self-service manner or by mandating applications be installed on endpoints. In addition to the delivery of installed applications to the endpoint, we extend the organization beyond its physical boundaries again by making web applications publicly available, at the same time as employing modern security capabilities to protect those applications. And this all negates the need for what are effectively tactical solutions these days and aging technologies such as virtual private networking. Still relevant and still required wherever we have to access things on premise, but we're trying to remove that barrier or the need for that technology, which creates friction for employees. We also perform licensing optimization. Increasingly, the licensing ecosystem and landscape is becoming very complex and difficult to manage. We analyze licensing assignment against workload adoption to understand where organizations are licensed and act appropriately to provide insight based on the actual utilization by the employee. That allows us to then optimize licensing. In terms of identity, which is a key component of the life cycle of the endpoint and in fact the employee, we employ risk-based access controls to allow and determine risky sign-ins based on location, device compliance, impossible travel, and the detection of other factors as well. And it allows us to then dynamically apply blocks to access or require more stringent controls, such as introducing multi-factor authentication to the authentication workflow, or requiring the employee to change a password if this is suspected of compromise. Passwordless authentication is provided using capabilities, as with those other capabilities of Azure Active Directory, allowing us to gain access to SaaS-based services without the use of passwords at all. And for endpoint access, we employ Windows Hello, which extends this to the endpoint using biometrics as the primary factor of authentication. Of course, employing those risk-based access controls and dealing with the passwordless identity challenges that we're trying to embrace, we also need to make sure that we protect the data in the organization as well. Employing Azure's information protection technologies, we're able to ensure that data is protected at all times. We achieve this by using technology such as Windows Information Protection and Azure Information Protection. And these technologies allow us to audit data use, protect the data from leaving the organization, or protect the data in the organization's dynamic security boundaries of cloud services and ensure protection travels and remains with the data at all times. And Autonomous Workspace also employs the use of other products outside of the M365 suite, where we see there's a need to fill a gap in an organization's requirement. And of course, data protection isn't only about preventing data loss or leaks, but ensuring it's protected from malicious or accidental loss through traditional means such as backups. So in Autonomous Workspace, we deliver this using cloud-based SaaS backup technologies to back up your SaaS services. In the same vein, we also add products that look at digital employee experience. So Autonomous Workspace employs the use of a technology to enable the enhancing of an employee's digital experience. And we do this by measuring experiences down to the millisecond. It's possible to derive insights into the experiences and the challenges employees are having with consuming IT by doing this. And using this information along with other performance and reliability data, we're able to not only derive those insights, but therefore target where efforts should be focused in improving the experience and continually improving that experience for employees. And we do that by, performing anomaly detection to allow us to identify issues impeding an employee's productivity. And that might be a change in experience globally for your organization, or it might be a change in a subset of the organization's employees' experience. But by using these tools and techniques, we can make sure that we identify them and then address them. And the capability is, of course, delivered in addition to enhancing of traditional support services, which are enhanced through using things such as chatbots, support assistants, and enhanced monitoring. This slide here depicts our view of the digital workspace of tomorrow and its components, and many of which I've mentioned in the previous slides. And our view of the digital workspace of tomorrow is that it should be a holistic one, where through the coming together of very mature services, mature technologies, we drive the outcomes of a more productive and a better employee experience, and that in turn drives better outcomes for the business as a whole. This slide is how we package Autonomous Workspace. So as you can see from the slide, Autonomous Workspace is comprised of modular packs intended to enable organizations to define a service that's right for them. So by selecting the right packs and the packs that you need, you gain the benefits from our service you require, and only those benefits. And that can help you optimize your services and deliver those services internally. And with that, that is the end of our presentation. So nice and brief. I hope I'll give you lots of time back in the day. Thank you very much for your time today. If you'd like any further information, then we can assist you on this with specific details around individual packs for Autonomous Workspace and more detail about the technologies that underpin it. If you'd like to contact your account manager will be able to provide that contact for you and some time with us. Once again, thank you very much for your time today.